Are you a breeder looking to showcase your show pigs? With a Walton Webcasting Show Pig Shoot, we are your go-to video service for capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk to pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner, Laird Premium Blend Genetics from premiumblendgenetics.com. Next up, it's Beck's Hybrids from beckshybrids.com. And here comes Showright from showright.com. Coming around, we have Brad Howe Ford from bhiford.com. And here comes First Farmers Bank and Trust from ffbt.com. And rounding out the racers, it's Kennedy Ventures from kennedyventuresok.com. On the track and in the ring, it's all about collaboration and teamwork. Join us in honoring our premier partners because together they're the driving force of the livestock industry.
It's time for the Triple Crown Club Pig Sale. This is a Walton Wetcasting production, livestock like you've never seen before.
Test. Test. We're gonna be on speaker too. Test. 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 There we go. Ooh. Test. 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 We good? Everybody here, it's okay? Very good. I think it's about the time to get started. Well, first off, welcome everybody. Thank you. Appreciate your patience. It was we had a lot to try to get done with Jamie sifting over there and then try to get everything tagged. So apologize. We were kind of a little short on me and Jamie's time being able to get over here. So thank you guys for your patience and welcome to the Triple Crown, the second annual, I guess. And we're excited about the group of consigners we got. Excited about the group of pigs, and we're going to go ahead and get the preview here started. Jamie, you want to go ahead and introduce if you want to on some of these, and we'll talk them all as we go.
Absolutely. First in here is BGDK, and they bring us a pair. Lot 1 would be a woke buckle-up backdrop, and then the blue bar is a platinum that he brings us there. And the 1 liter bar, the 1 liter Crip male has 2 mates that'll sell the very last of our sale and be choices there. To me, Mike, I'll let you talk him, but this is a logical pig to go ahead and start off the second annual Triple Crown sale with. I
think I agree 100%. There's no question. When we saw the pictures, and there's been a lot of interest off of the pictures alone. That's a picture that obviously catches your attention immediately, and then you see him when I saw him first on the carpet back in there last night. He's a very easy place to start for a sale. This is a wild-looking one that has an absolutely enormous rear leg. His proportions are right. His look is right, and this hog is as comfortable out here as any. He's got as good of a hind leg as you can put in one that's got a hind leg that is that big. I think a wild one that is very far-reaching but still balances and looks like a show barrow.
Yeah, this one got posted on their online sale just as a viewing, and I know Brennan and Dylan had a lot of calls and fielded them. Barrow buyers, look in here on lot 1. He's a crib, so the seeds are coming out of him, and I know Brennan and Dylan and the boys had a lot of interest from boar studs wanting to keep this one intact, and this one firms my, I guess, my experiment or my thoughts of I expect Crips to win more pig shows, and it's because boar studs aren't going to get invested in them. Lot 1, look in here. Lot 56 is the blue pig, and he's a platinum wide awake. Mom did originate from Stauffer.
Yeah, Jamie said that this was kind of a late addition. They decided to bring that kind of came on here late, and this is, I think, an elite kind of light cross male. This guy's look, his comfort, his bone work, his column of bones to the ground is as good as they can be off of both ends of the skeleton. Hip and rear leg, length to hip is extremely good. He's got the right kind of immature muscle at this stage that looks like the kind that will continue to feed and respond, and he's also bred to come with it naturally on his own. I think a very good blue bear that Noel's brought down here for us to offer here in the Triple Crown.
Yeah, when Brennan called me and said he had a blue one that he wanted to offer, I said, hey, as long as the 3 darks are coming, definitely bring the blue. And then he sent me the picture, and I said, yeah, don't leave New York without him. Look at the success we had, our consigners had in the light cross division last summer. This one can run with the best of them, in my opinion.
Great point there by Jamie. We had a good set of them run through here last year, and our set of blues is deeper yet this year than it was last year. And this guy would have fit with the best of them then, and he'll be one of those that needs to get a good home and get a chance because he's got a real chance to surface.
BGDK drops in with their third rounders, and those would be mates to the leadoff woke buckle up backdrop. And I guess a point I forgot to mention there was a gilt they sold online that she fetched close enough to $10,000 that I couldn't afford her. So I don't know exactly what she brought, but it was up there, and I know that one's a highlight. We decided here that we would just end the sale with them, sell them both as a pair, let buyer bid choice, and then bid off the second one.
Yeah, we look at the pair of these, and this black-headed one is as similar to his litter mate that starts off the sale as he can possibly be. I mean, he's just painted up a little wilder, a little louder, but I think fits the same mold as that lot one in the sale in terms of stoutness of feature, real shape, density of bonework, squareness of hock going away. Very, very neat, very elite looking kind of painted up pig there. And then the other one is another one that the belted one out here, I think has a very striking presence. Maybe the sharpest looking one in the litter in terms of just look out of the head of his blade. Same kind of squareness, same kind of correctness and comfort out of his hind leg. This hog's skeleton's very good and looks like an awesome feeding one to me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just which way the buyer goes when they buy this particular lot. Do you go with the stouty that's super good in terms of his skull? I personally think that's about as good a head as you can put on a champion show barrow. Or do they side with the belted one that's just so tall-shouldered, so unique in terms of his presence up front, still bendy and flexible out back? Curious to see which one the buyer gets there and picks choice. I'll certainly be contending or push the second one for sure. Next in is Dybert Show Pigs, and they brings us two here. And lot two would be 13-3. He's a worldwide, to be fair, tricked out.
Yeah, this little blue-eyed one or blue-masked one, I guess, is a wild-looking one that hit us here in the sale order preview there earlier today. That looks to me like a high-end blue barrel or even a high-end blue boar. This guy has got the bone work to go either way. This is a great big set of legs, an awesome set of joints. Hip and hind leg is extremely good. Spine and the way that he ties out ahead of his shoulder is awesome. One that looks to me like you can stretch him a little farther if you want to, but it is still just the middle of February and it's a long time until August. So there's a chance this guy could sure get there and be a middle or a heavyweight there at the beginning of August and could drag even farther on, I think. That's a very neat, very elite-looking kind of blue male to me.
Yeah, the blue barrel is one. When I talked to Tyler 2 weeks ago, and that barrel is still on the decks for that male pig, he does have both seeds out back, and this is one that had been scheduled to come to the Triple Crown for quite some time. And I'll be honest, as he comes back to us this evening, he reminds me so much, and I'm not even sure they're related, of the pig that Kings get along with out of the sale last year, just in terms of how tall he is up front, how good he is up front, extension out in front of his blades. He's got big ears and a big hind leg to match. I think that's a very unique blue light cross one to start with, male or barrel, whichever route the buyer decides to go. I think that one's an awfully unique one.
Yeah, that's a big, neat skull and a big set of bones with a really good set of joints.
Lot 57 here would be Dybert's other one. He's a locked-in, picture this young love. Mom was third out at Indy a few years ago, and Tyler and his crew rounded her up.
Boy, this guy filled up a lot since earlier today. I thought he was a good built, good skeleton, attractive one earlier, but boy, he's filled up and looks like he's going to try to become a man fairly soon. This looks like an awesome feeding one. He's a calico that's got a good print and an attractive print to him, and that'll color up awesome in the summer to show in the darks and be one that kind of stands out. Yet with that extra special kind of look that he's got there, correctness of skeleton and hind leg, this looks like an awesome feeding one to me. The right kind of immaturity, but the right kind of look to get along all summer.
Yeah, I just think this one's the right kind of stock here in 2026, and as we progress, There'll certainly be ones that are boxier and bloomier, but from the side, there will not be any that's just more striking. In terms of their color pattern, in terms of just how his neck ties so high out of the top side of his shoulder, he's still a big-chested bar that leaves you with an intimidating view. This one is a second rounder. Excuse me, is certainly one that's high on my list.
That's a big flag tail. Tonight.
Next in will be McCormick Family Show Stock. Their leadoff pig will be tag 3. He is a worldwide back slap. Mom was a choice lot that John invested in that came from the Cobb program. Looks like she paid off.
Yeah, I know that's a good sow that John's had some fun with building some things out of, and she brings us a really good one, or build us a really good one here. That guy hit me as hard as any of them probably earlier today in the sale order preview, and you get him back out here again. What I call kind of skinny stout. He's the right kind of stout and the right kind of skinny at the same time. His skull is his head carriage out ahead of his blade. It's a great big set of bones with really good paws and toes off both ends. That hog is absolutely incredible to the ground. He's got the right kind of shape to his body to be a feeding one. He's got the right kind of muscle shape to expand and become a big one, and everything goes to the ground just right off of both ends. John brought us a good set last year, and he doubled the quality this year.
Yeah, John called a month ago and brought some pigs over to my sale barn, so I've gotten to see this one progress. And I'll be honest, there for a long time, I just thought about sneaking this one out the back door, but I know John's got golf lessons to pay for this summer. I'd like to give him a chance to finance those. Lot 3 looks like he could pay those bills. To me, one thing that I like to talk about in buying show bars is neck-to-bone ratio. For that bar's hind leg, or male pig, because he does have both seeds, for his hind leg to be that big and fat and bendy, he comes with 0 crest. This pig's unique up front, and it's kind of abnormal, I guess. In terms of his look-to-bone ratio, I think that's an intriguing one to feed into August.
That's an excellent male to be offering here. What's the other one's lot number?
Oh, I'm good. Lot 58 would be McCormick's second lot, and he would be a wake-up call. Stay tuned. Mom, again, came from the Cobb program.
Yeah, another one that's just being out of the wake-up call deal and the way those hogs fed last year. He looks like so many of them better feeding wake-up calls looked last year. Round-ribbed, attractive-headed, square to the ground, awesome toes, immature in his bone work, but with the right kind of bone. Hog's got an awesome body cavity, squareness going away, and comfort. Reads like those wake-up calls that have fed. This is going to be an easy feeding one that about anybody can manage, and at the same time, I think his ceiling's very high with those kind of proportions, that kind of rib cage, that kind of depth, that kind of length of body with that kind of look.
Yeah, we know what the wake-up call thing did last summer, and this one drops in and kind of matches those. He's a short-bodied one that's so good through the center portion of his body. He's just a basic built one that honestly, I think I said it over there in the sift. He can make an average feeder look like an elite one. He's going to be so easy to manage and so easy to manipulate and get ready. But I do think that one still has a high ceiling just in terms of his extras. I'm way in there on lot 58 for McCormick.
Yeah, John, thank you for bringing that pair.
Next in will be Jaworski, Woke Kong. Glad Jaworski was able to make the trip. This one's mate actually brings $10,000 last night in the mail sale in Lebanon, and this one's certainly, I didn't get to see that one, but I would push this one up against him.
Yeah, same thing. I didn't get to see that one in person, just got to see his picture. And he sent me a picture of this one the other day, and I was pumped to see him come. And you come see this guy as he comes out here on this service again. Comfort, reach, range of motion, angles everywhere are so good. That guy has an absolutely awesome look. That sow line at Jaworski's has done a great job. Though that guy has put out so many good ones over the last few years. And this one looks like one that does have a chance to be a boar prospect. But again, as a barrow, I mean, this kind is just always going to get along. He's wild enough looking to have a very high ceiling. He's basic enough to be managed to where you can keep him in check anywhere you want to go with him. This is a very good kind of pig here that Jaworski's brought down for us.
Yeah, this one, I don't know if there's any boar studs paying attention other than the guy to my left, but I think this one has breeding value. He looks like one to me that could make show pigs better in 2027 because he has length and levelness out of his hip and hind leg, and he still reaches and goes. That's a neat colored one that's extra stout and dense, still has all the aesthetic value we like to talk about this day and age in terms of bone and hair. Excited to see where this one ends up. I'll be calling the buyer of this particular lot to follow up on him later in the summer. Next in is Ball Farms and Colton Ball. His leadoff pig will be lot 5, and he's a claws in living color.
Jamie told me about this one when he went through and looked at that set before his online sale there a couple weeks ago and told me how good this one. He doesn't disappoint when you get here. And Colton's done an awesome job putting together a sow herd that's built some very good crossbreds, and we've got a boar in our stud right now that we'll introduce here very soon that's bred very similar to this guy, sired by Claws. You know, Claws went down there in mid breeding season, recovering in terms of semen quality right now, and so there's not going to be just lots more Claws available moving forward here in terms of just this crop. And those hogs have fed so awesome, and this guy reads like the best of the Claws did. He has got a Claws skull and forehead and jaw. He's got a great big set of bones like his dad. He's got a great big rib cage, a big square hip. He's painted up like a lot of those Claws pigs are. This guy goes to the ground very true and dense, and again, still does it with a balanced, attractive look. Those Claws pigs, they got along good in the jackpots, but by the end, they were absolutely something to try to get around. That has been as one of the best sires we ever had at our place. This guy fits into the upper end of any of them that we've built or seen built out of this hog.
I went to Colton's there and got to preview his online set, and he brought out a mate brother that he sold online, and that was the first pig in the ring, and I said, Colton, this one's got to come to the Triple Crown, and he kind of smirked and smiled, and if you know Colton, you can appreciate that. He said, hey, I think I got one better. He goes and gets that one, and I said, okay, that's the Triple Crown pig. Put this one online, and I'm going to try to buy him, and we did, and we bought several of his mates. That's a good litter of pigs. We know what Claws did last summer. This view right here, wide-chested, square-kneed, and good on his front feet. You're going to go to the scales and come back and re-rack with the top end. I think a very high-end Claws pig there that Colton brought us.
This one looks like he could be a dominant kind of heavyweight.
Next in would be Colton's Berkshire Gilt, and she's going to be lot 43, pin-to-pin, top it off, secret stash.
That's a really good Berkshire Gilt that comes in the ring right here. Jamie had told me about her as well, and I haven't been able to make it to Colton's this spring. And this one out here, I know Colton's got a passion for making these Berkshires. He's been hunting elite Berkshire females over the last couple years, and I mean, he's been hunting them to make ones like this, and these are the ones that I know he's been out trying to find. This one's colored awesome for her breed. She represents everything so right. She's got the stoutness of skull that Berkshires have always been known to have, but yet a jawline and attractive immature head. Her hip and hind leg is extremely good. Her angle and comfort up front to have this kind of bone combined with that kind of body type, that kind of spine, that correctness of hind leg, and that muscle texture. That makes this, I think, an absolutely elite Berkshire Gilt prospect.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was nervous when Colton dropped this one in his preview pin when I went there for the online sale. I just said, hey, man, what kind of traction do you got on a Berkshire Gilt? And he said, man, I don't think I have a lot. And I said, I can't promise that the best Berkshire feeders are going to be paying attention to Triple Crown. I hope you're in the stands, and I hope you're seeing this one. This one's skeletal quality for this breed is so good. She is so loose built. There's just not a tight joint in her body. She comes with that extra stoutness of feature and look. The texture to this one's skin and hair is incredible. I'll be interested to see if this one gets close come Expo, Louisville, and our state fair.
Yeah, the high-end Berkshire feeders absolutely need to be watching this one.
Next in will be Rosebird with lot 6. This is a Culture Glory Days.
This is a really neat pig. I know Jamie had been out there and seen them and told me about this one. Again, just like so many of the Rosebird hogs that we see, he's got that kind of skull that so many of them have got. Stout skull with a neat jawline, an attractive look, a dead level pattern from the side, a huge set of bones, and a square hind leg. A really neat one that has a striking look with extra kind of density. That kind of proportions, his length of body's just right. That hog's filled up quite a bit since earlier today, too. That hog's filled up, looks really good. That one right there does look like a high-end show bearer to me.
I made the trip over there to Rosebirds, and that's no short drive. Toby let me go through, and we talked about it, and we cussed and discussed about what to bring to the Triple Crown. It was kind of non-negotiable, though, when he dropped in this culture mail, that he was going to come and he was going to be Toby's leadoff, because I think this one is just so unique in terms of the ruggedness to his feature. That's a stout skull and a big hind leg. Still flexes right, still bends. I think that one, and honestly, Toby's had some calls just on being a bore on him, and I can see why, because I could see that one having some breeding value on some sow herds. I'll be curious to see just where Lot 6 ends up.
Yeah, that's a hog with big bones, big paws, and strong toes.
Lot 16, Culture Glory Days, the gilt that Rosebird offers. She would beat a mate, the one he leads off Triple Crown with, and this one also had a mate that sold in the mail sale at Sweethearts Friday night.
Yeah, this one is a wild-looking little thing. I mean, she neat-headed, great big hip, big stout hind leg. Proportions are awesome. Just looks like an absolute killer to take out to the jackpots all spring. One that could be shown as a market gilt at the end of the summer here in our state, where we do have that option at the state fair or at the counties. We do show a lot of these counties or bears and gilts together. This one could run with them in a market hog deal. Yet I do think this one looks like she has elite kind of breeding value for anybody who's looking to try to make one a sow and put her in a breeding pen. This is one that absolutely looks like she can make one, but she looks like she'll win a lot of banners on the way.
Yeah, when I went to Toby's and saw this gilt, and he said, hey, I kind of got this one slated for the Triple Crown. And I said, hey, Toby, we're not really known as a gilt sale, and I don't know about bringing one of that caliber. And he said, no, man, I'm all in. I want to bring her to the Triple Crown. And I said, well, let's do it. This one looks like one to me that you drag her out in April, she's going to be really hard to turn. That she's so much like her mate brother that leads off the sale in terms of feature and bone, and yet she props up from the side and has an elegant look to her front end. So much shape feeds out of the backside of her shoulder. Market gilt, breeding gilt, don't matter. I expect big things out of this one. We'll finish up Rosebird's set here, and Lot 59 will be a belt buckle, no intro. The pig here that Hannah's on to the right, this is one that when I was there, it has as unique of a barrel look as any of them, just in terms of his skull shape and just in terms of the turn to the middle part of his body. Curious to see what Mike has to say.
Yeah, he's definitely one very similar to his leadoff bear in terms of having that Rosebird look out of his skull and front end. Bone and hair's really good. His hog's got real muscle and shape. Needs to just calm down a little bit out here and relax. And when he does and gets his chin in the air, his spine levels out, and he looks like a show bearer. He looks like a high-end show bearer. That, again, comfort and the way that this guy hits to the ground off the both ends is so good. But, again, that extra look he has out front with that kind of shape, that kind of round rib cage makes him one that'll be a fun one to manage.
I guess I'll just wrap it up here with one simple statement. This pig looks like one that could make the guys that made the sale order look awfully stupid tomorrow night and later in the summer. Next in the ring will be Lot 76. The last one we'll preview from Rosebird, 15-5. He's a slow hand, one for all.
Yep, another big, dense one, big, stout skull, great big blade, big round rib cage, lots of real muscle, yet manages that all within himself as he covers the surface out here. This guy drives in line with the skeleton. His toes are good. His reach and range of motion is just right. And again, just an easy feeding kind. Want to be fun to manage. And there's enough substance here to manage this guy a little later if you want to. Yeah, it also looks like a hog that has a chance to grow if you want to do that. I think there's a wide window on this guy on whatever you kind of want to try to do. He's got enough elevation and looks like he wants to grow. And again, that's a lot of muscle and a big rib cage. You can manage this guy and mold him into kind of whatever you want to.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm the first one to want to tie into a green, skinny one that might be a little narrow and a little flat. We get into July and August, and I have to look at the family and look at the showman and say, hey, your show bear just don't have enough muscle. This one, always going to have enough muscle.
Yeah.
He's always going to have shape up high. He has a big, intimidating rear view whenever he leaves you. This, to me, looks like a big ring pig. Come Columbus, it'll be really fun to see him in the heavies because I think he'll fit in very well there.
Absolutely. Okay.
Here we got McCoy and Malcolm dropping in. Their leadoffs right here, lot 7, damn near normal cash money.
Yeah, this the damn near normal thing was real interesting to me last summer, and I saw several of those pigs that I liked, and I reached out and used him there at Isaac's, and I've had 3 litters out of them. Those pigs have been nice, and this is a pig I like quite a bit. The damn near normal deal is, again, the wild kind of look. Those hogs have got wild kind of hair, and those hogs come with more punch as they mature. And this hog's mother, 98.7, is an incredibly stout female. She's a cash money on 83.7, which would have been Maya's 5th overall gilt at Perry a few years ago, been one of our key sows in our program for the last few years. This guy looks to me like one that's got enough grow if we want to get him there to late July and August, yet at the same time he's short enough body that we can manage that guy as long as we want. I love this guy's look. I love this guy's skeleton. He's the right kind of skinny and immature to me. And, again, he's bred to get stout. I got a lot of faith in the way this guy will feed.
Yeah, this looks like the high feeding stuff that Mike and his family always offer. An awesome presence from the side, a really striking color pattern that you in the stands can see. This hog's front end is incredible. And with that, we talked about it earlier, look to bone ratio, neck to bone ratio. This pig's got a giant arm and has very little crest and pole there at the top side of his neck. This one looks like one to me that you could just absolutely gas on and have a lot of fun with this summer. Lot 18, McCoy and Malcolm's Guild entry, 95-3, claws easy for you, Tarantino.
Yeah, this claws deal, we're not letting lots of claws gilts go this year just because of the value we found in that. In the female side, there have been a lot of boars bring a lot of money here lately that have been out of claws sows, and it looks like the female end of that's going to be extremely good. So we wanted to offer a good one when we came here, and this gilt's mother is 94.2, which is an absolute incredible young female. First litter sow, there were 3 of them 94s that were awesome. Sold one of them to Crosley's there in the Legends and Dreamers. And this one here is one that I do think has a chance to be an absolutely incredible generating sow. Yet I think her look, her presence, her bone work, her toes, strength of toes, her shape, her squareness make her one that has a high ceiling as a show gilt. But, again, I think her absolute value long-term is going to be putting her in the crate. This is a very good female. Again, we're not offering many of them, but wanted to bring a good one to offer here.
Yeah, I hope the crowd to my right's paying attention from a show gilt value. This one's balance and shape and stoutness and muscle. Looks like one that could be really fun to show there as a big breeding gilt at the end of the summer. But I really hope the guys to my left and out back are paying attention. My favorite 2 pigs that I've seen this spring have been out of Claw's Daughters. I expect more of that to happen, and I'm going to bring that up a couple times because it does look like they have just produced their sows. Excited to see the Calico Guild at the end of the summer. Really excited to call the new owner and see where this one's litters at a year from now. Next in, we got another McCoy and Malcolm, 1061 Casino Claus Tarantino.
That's the one that Maya's on over there is 1061. The Casino deal is a board we bought from Keplinger there a little over a year ago. That was a money line on Baby Girl, and anybody who follows the program there at Keplinger's knows who Baby Girl is and what she's done and what that line has done. And that money line being in there adds a little more density of hair, a little more just pigment there for us. And again, the mother here on these is a Claus sow. That sow would be a sister to Markley's class winner there at Columbus last year. One of my favorite barrows we had all last summer was just a little on the young side for Columbus. The barrow that Maya's driving, though, is one that I've liked that guy quite a bit since he came out of the nursery. We're a little younger here, I guess, than some people are in the sale. But this guy here, to me, I think looks like one that can get there to the end of July or into August and make it all the way probably to September if you need him to, just because of the way he's bred. That sow is an absolute stouty. This guy's got a wild, neat look. His spine, his hip, and his rear leg is so good. Toe strength and maturity in his pedigree is built for him to just continue to get stouter. I like this barrow quite a bit, and I think he's got a pretty high ceiling.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just sum it up here with one thing. Casino to me was intriguing last summer, and when everybody called, asked about what to breed their sows to, told them to look in at Casino, and they did, and maybe they questioned a thing or two. I said, but imagine breeding your sows to a Baby Girl at Keplinger's.
Yeah.
Imagine getting that sow in every pedigree of your show barrows. I know that if more barrows are backed by a sow of that quality, you certainly will see more banners and backdrops. I'm really high on this pig. Love his presence, love his look, love his build. Next in will be lot 77 from McCoy and Malcolm. He's a 106-5 Casino Claus Tarantino.
Yep, litter mate to the last one that Maya was driving there. Again, he was the kind of the biggest, stoutest one in the nursery when they came out. Big set of bones, big forearm, big hind leg, got a big, stout, attractive skull. Hog's got real muscle and a great big tail root. There will never be a time in this pig's life where I don't think this hog continues to get stouter. Skeleton's awesome, pedigree's good, feedability here is extremely high.
Yeah, look in on lot 77. Make sure you stay around, stick around, pay attention for the end of the sale because there's a lot of quality. Sale order doesn't dictate quality by no stretch, and 77's a prime example of that. That's a beautifully headed show barrow with a big chest and just a massive rib cage and awesome rear view. Stout yet flexible. Again, goes back to the Baby Girl stuff at Keplinger that I think she's won a couple pig shows in her life.
She has.
Look in here on lot 77. Lot 8 from Mallerwine Show Pigs, 18-6, wide awake. Picture this.
Yeah, Jamie told me about this one the other day, and I've been pumped to see this guy. And this guy, Doug brought us a very good set last year. He brought us a very good set, and this guy, I think, daylights the ones he brought here last year, and those hogs fed really good too. This one right here has got an absolutely awesome look, and that color pattern up on his front end, I think, gives him an absolutely wild creature kind of look, and it's a big set of bones. This hog's got an absolutely incredible spine, length of hip, correctness rear leg is awesome. Very striking pig. Hog's got hair density. He's got a flexibility. He's got a wild look and does it with balance and athleticism. I think this is an incredibly high-end show barrow. I like this pig a bunch. This guy is one that absolutely has to be on a short list.
Yeah, lot 8 from Mallerwine. We made the trip last weekend to go see him, and kind of Doug wanted us to see the set and see what we were thinking that he needed to bring. And he drops out the Calico Bar, and he said, I think I'm going to bring him. And I questioned why I had to go there because I said, yeah, Doug, he needs to make the trip to London. Those are giant furry bones with an awesome look up front. That, to me, looks like the wide awake pigs that have won every show in America the last few years. And I expect big things out of lot 8.
Big one.
Lot 61 from Mallerwine Show Pigs, 16-1, Sweet Dreams Cover Shot Trixie.
Yeah, this is one of the kind of the bigger end of barrows that are in the sale, but absolutely one that fits so many of the shows in this part of the world with those counties in anywhere from late June all the way through July. And I mean, and I think even with an experienced feeder, this guy could be stretched all the way to the 1st August. We're not at an epidemic of pigs getting way too big on us for feeding hogs into the summer. And this guy looks like one that will try to grow if you let him, but also has the ability, pedigree-wise, to be managed. This is a very good hog. He's got an awesome feeding look. He's got a stout skull and attractive neck and front end. His spine, again, hip and rear leg, correctness to the ground is awesome. This hog looks like an absolutely awesome feeding one that, again, a high-end feeder can make this guy extremely good. An average feeder can still make this one very good. Just do your work at home, get this guy right. This is the kind that can surface under about any kind of management.
Yeah, this one's forehead is just incredibly stout and dense. I love his look. To me, this one's just a little sun and a little tannin, a little melatonin away from growing some hair, from being one that makes a guy look really smart in July. I'll be honest, if you have a July County Fair and you're still looking for pigs, this one has to be on your list. If you're looking for one that can be a big heavyweight at our state fair, this one, again, has to be on your short list. I like a lot of things about Lot 61 from Mallerwine. Lot 78, Mallerwine Show Pigs, 18-8, wide awake. Picture this.
Another wide awake pig that looks like a wide awake. Immature, correct, loose, comfortable, the right texture to everything to be a feeding one. Hog's got a good look, a good balance to him. Again, in a very athletic skeleton, immature in his muscle, but again, these hogs are bred to come with muscle, and they respond when we ask them to. Again, this looks like a very good feeding one to me with a high ceiling. Again, in the right hands, ceiling's very high, one that I just absolutely don't think you can screw up too much putting a feed bucket and using a feed bucket on this guy. Just a very good pig that's immature, built right, and built to feed.
Yeah, and we just talked about his calico mate and how special he was, and I'll be honest, this one's not far behind him. He has the same kind of build, flexibility, and just skeleton that his mate brother does. He has a good turn to the center portion of his body, a big-chested barrow that's good in terms of his rear view. I think that one's just go home and get him as good as you can with a feed bucket. That's a fun one to feed and a fun one to manage and a fun one to maximize come August. Lot 9, Stitz Show Pigs, 9-2, Golden Era, Power Play, Unashamed.
Stitz didn't come over here to play around in Ohio. They brought a good set to the sift over there on the other side and brought us a very good pair to bring here into the ring. And this belted boar pig, I guess, that when he came in, I mean, he's high in the sale order for a reason. This is an absolutely wild fronted looking one. It's heavy boned. He's tall shouldered. He's got big forearm and paws, a good spine, great turn to his rib cage, a high tail set, and a good loose correct hind leg. Again, immature enough in his muscle, but still enough of the right kind of bulk to be able to manage to kind of do whatever we want to do with this guy. This guy is absolutely going to be one of the athletic, attractive ones that you show this summer. He's one that I would sure rather be showing this one than be showing against him, because this guy is the kind that absolutely has a wild enough, elite enough look, still with enough substance everywhere to surface everywhere we try to take him.
Yeah, and this pig's mom would have raised the 3rd overall bar at the farm show there just a few weeks ago, and this one drops in, and I can see how she did it. This, to me, is one of the more extreme ones in terms of presence and just slickness to their jawline. Still, though, he's a stout-skulled one that just props up so beautifully from the side. This one looks like one to me is a big heavyweight that I can put just my absolute best stick on, and we can outrun the competition and just lap them from a pure pace standpoint because his skeleton's so good, his presence is so good. I would love to feed that pig and Stitz lead off. Lot 62, Stitz Show Pigs, 8-3, Clout, no comparison, never before. Mom cost a pile of money from Hilty, and obviously has done really well there.
Yeah, this blue one is a wild looking with absolutely as dark of a blue as you can make. This hog's got a really stout, attractive head with a tight jawline, a really big set of bones. He's got a big hind leg. He's a hog that as he gets out here, he wants to fight a little bit and pull his top up. But when this guy gets out, relaxes, and drops his spine down in him, that is a presence that will be very memorable. This is a neat show barrow that I again think you'll never. I mean, he'll be one that'll always get a good first look with that kind of shape, that kind of head, tight ears. That's a very neat kind of dark blue one out here that these guys offered.
Yeah, I saw pictures and videos of this one early on, and I was really excited when he told me he was coming to London. This one's obviously backed by just an incredible pedigree from that standpoint. I hope he'll just relax at some point while he's here in London, and he'll just chill just a shot, because I do think that barrow is really high quality. We said it before, and I'll say it again. Our consigners had an incredible run in the light cross division last summer, and I think they're stacked up and ready to do it again.
CNC Diamond.
CNC Diamond Show Pigs, 4-3, Golden Era. All rise, let's go. Excited to have these guys join us here, clear from Colorado.
Let's go ahead and put those two Berkshires back in the pens if we would, guys. We'll keep them back there until we talk the two crosses. Appreciate that. We'll just try to do two at a time. We invite our buddies from Colorado to come out here, and we've formed a really good relationship with those guys out there, and they're doing a really good job. They're doing a really good job with their breeds. Their crossbred thing's been strong. Glad they were able to make the trip, and they got here, and these pigs have filled up, settled in extremely well. And I like it's belted one of theirs quite a bit to lead off. Again, another one with an absolutely awesome look out of the head of his blade, a big set of bones, a very comfortable skeleton, an awesome feeding look, but also an elite kind of show barrow look out here. This hog is dense. This hog is wide, but yet stays within himself as he drives away. He's neat looking, and again, just has it's such an easy feeding kind of look in terms of just one that has the right kind of body shape, the right kind of muscle. But again, that's a lot of substance, moderate enough in his size that I think we can manage him a little later if we wanted to. He's one that I think you can make him very high end, regardless of kind of what endpoint you're looking at, because I do think there's some manageability in this guy. Like it's belted one that these guys brought from Colorado quite a bit.
Yeah, this one will save a guy some money because there's no reason to buy any melatonin. He's got hair on every ounce of his body, big furry paws, and an awesome look up front. That is a big flag tail.
Yes, that is. With
an incredible rear view, still flexible enough behind. I think this one has as high a ceiling as maybe any that's in this particular offering. I'm very high on CNC's belted pig. Lot 63, CNC Show Pig, 7-1, Angry Orchard, Dirty Shame, Cheetah.
Yeah, when I talked to the guys when they were coming out here, he said, I think I've got a pretty good blue one. He's a little bigger than what's probably ideal for us out in Colorado, but he's not too big for us right here where we're located. This guy will work in the July shows for our counties where we can show light crosses or just show crosses, period. And then for our state fair, this is the kind that can still manage to be a good, big, stout heavyweight. This guy looks like he's got some growing, and we can get him big there for August. But at the same time, if you need to burn him before that, you've got that option. Just a stout, dense skull with a high head carriage and a tight neck, a great big forearm, great big paws. This guy at the ground is absolutely enormous. He's got an awesome rib cage, and that view going away is so impressive. That hog has got a big, stout hip, still stays square within himself. Again, lots of manageability in this guy because there's lots of substance. I do think this guy has a wide window for lots of people in this crowd in our part of the world to be able to work in lots of different scenarios.
Yeah, again, I'm curious to see which way the buying public goes here because this one of the light cross offering is the stoutest one, in my opinion, not just in terms of his head, not just in terms of his arm, but in terms of his muscle and just shape up high. That's an incredibly dense barrow that's got extra muscle, easy one to manage, fun one to manage. Drag him every weekend and he'll get close. Push him to July, hold him to August. I don't think it matters. I do think that pig will be in the mix regardless of when and where you take him. Next in will be CNC's Berkshire entries, 20-4, Better Off, Top Secret, Jet Black. That would be the gilt pig.
Yeah, they brought us a very nice little Berkshire female here. I know they've had a good run out there building an elite set of Berkshires, and this gilt fits into what a clubby-looking Berkshire looks like to me. That is a stout, attractive head. She's got a square built. She's very comfortable out here, and she has got a feeder belly on her right now, and she has been killing the bucket of feed since she's been here. But that one is very trendy and attractive looking. She's boxy, yet she's comfortable and still immature. She looks like a really neat feeding one. I don't know what her birth date is there, but that one, wherever she fits, if she fits into your birth date range, we'll get that. Make sure to get that posted on her birth date. But that one there, if she fits into where you need to be birth date wise, that's a really neat kind of Berkshire gilt, and really a neat one to try to build some Berkshire Club pigs with.
Ohio buyers, look in, because she is a December. I do think that's a sporty little rig that has an awesome look and just awesome build. To me, she would be really fun, again, to drag in April. I think that one's a very high caliber type of jackpot pig that has a very high ceiling as we talk state fair time. CNC Show Pigs, 23-2, Blood and Feathers, Kicking Rocks, Bulletproof.
Again, these guys have done an awesome job with their Berkshire program out there, building Berkshire show pigs. And again, this is one that looks like a show pig out of his skull. He looks like a show pig in his shape. He's one that, again, it looks like he's got appetite, and that hog has filled up since he's been here. A very neat looking one out here. Just needs to continue to stouten as he matures. Talk to these guys about pedigree, kind of what to do feed wise there. But a very neat one that it looks to me like it, in the right kind of management, can be one that can get there close in the end.
Yeah, I got to see this one when they unloaded him, and we got to talking, and I know he's going to start a little greener and skinnier, and I'll just be honest about that in terms of just dimension out of the backside of his shoulder. Put any of us on the trailer for 18 hours, and we're not exactly going to look our best when we hop off either. I think this one has high upside because he's a sharp-looking Berkshire buyer that has the right kind of look and presence to be high-end when it counts. Lot 11 from Lensman Show Pigs, 19-3, all access, claws tricked out, breaking rules.
Yeah, these guys, Lensmans, have done such a good job, and they're good buddies of ours, and they brought us a good set last year. We got a good boar pig out of here that made the stud last year that's done a good job, and they brought us a good set again. They're a little smaller this time around, and I think maybe just a little more ideal in terms of size. I thought they were a little on the big size last year, and I went to their place the other day, looked through their set and try and kind of looking what we thought were options here. This 19-litter pig here was an absolute must-have to bring to the Triple Crown. This guy looks like an absolutely incredible feeding one to me. He's, again, the right kind of stout, the right kind of skinny at the same time. That is a stout skull, a great big forearm, a big furry set of legs, perfect length of body. He's skinny muscled right now, but it's the right kind, and the way that guy drives in his skeleton, I think, is so good. Those all-access pigs at their place were very good, and this pig here, he is a crip, so he is not going to be really a boar option. I wish he were, because this guy has such elite kind of features and pieces. That is a big stout noggin with a big furry set of paws.
I'll circle back real briefly.
Oh, I apologize. This isn't the crip. This isn't the crip. This is actually the one that is intact. I apologize.
Lot 11 does have both seeds, and barrel buyers, you might have to push a boar stud out on this one because he has that kind of quality, that kind of extreme feature and stoutness, and just a denseness of hair. That's still one that's bendy and athletic. I said it earlier, and this one comes out, and I'm glad because he proves my point. The better show buyers this summer are going to be out of claws. That's a prime example of that right there.
Yeah, this guy's mother actually, I believe, is a litter mate sister to the boar we bought out of here last year. Jamie.
Lot 64 from Lensman Show Pigs. Wake up call, tricked out, breaking rules.
Yeah, this guy here's mother would be a littermate sister to baby girl there at Keplinger's, and would have been a sow that directly came from them. This guy's mother would be the mother of Bear Claw that we bought from him out of here last year. Again, a wake-up call that looks like the wake-up calls, the good wake-up calls do when they're little. He's sharp and attractive looking. He's barrel-ribbed. He's square. He's square as he drives away. Awesome feeding one out here. Again, just the wake-up call thing. Predictability in that pedigree. Proven sow line. Awesome pedigree. Basically all Keplinger blood here. A very good one that the Lensman's brought for us.
Yeah, Lot 64 is not wanting to act the best now, so I hope we got a good look of him while the other one was still in here. That's a cute little head in front of a big barrel rib, one that's opened up. Should be easy to manage, should be fun to feed, and I think this one, again, has a very high ceiling for that August-September time frame. Next in will be Windy Hill Farm. Tyler and his crew joined us from Pennsylvania this year. Their leadoff will be Lot 12, 8-2, Hardball lead the way.
This is a great addition to the Triple Crown to have these guys here. Excited to have them here and to form a relationship through this sale. And they came loaded. This black-headed painted up one out here is a very elite-looking show bearer prospect. Very attractive, very comfortable, real shape out of the back of his blade. Comfort and angularity up front's awesome. He's square going away. Again, show bearer proportions, show bearer look, show bearer bones. That is looks to me like a big-time show bearer.
Yeah, this one will be really fun. And when Tyler called and asked about being in the Triple Crown, I'll be honest, I knew his stuff was good, and I knew Tyler did a good job. I did not expect him to show up with this black-headed barra that's kind of an outlier in terms of height of shoulder, shortness of back, and just one that proportions and everything fits so well, still the right kind of muscle shape. I think that one come August could be awfully fun. Lot 65, Windy Hill Farm, 7-3, Alarm Hat Trick.
Yeah, this other one they brought here is another very attractive, tall-shouldered one with a very neat look ahead of his blade. That hog has got a big, stout, square, level hip. He's got, a big set of bones. That look coming at us is so right. He drives away from us square and true. He's still green enough in his muscle. He's attractive in his look. He's correct in his skeleton. Another very neat male prospect these guys brought.
Yeah, and again, I sound like a broken record, but when they come like this, it's hard not to say the same exact thing over and over. Tall-shouldered, short-bodied, awesome-looking one that can still flex and bend out back. That one's head carriage is so unique to me. That one's so unique looking. I think one that don't sleep on this one. Stick around for the sale. He's later in the order, but that'll be just fine. Sale order does not matter in August. Next in will be Christie Hog Farms from Michigan. Their leadoffs, tag 13, 21-1 / roll call ACDC.
Yeah, we got our good friends from Michigan down here to bring a good set. They brought us a good set last year, and Jamie, I know, went through there the other day and was very high on the set of pigs he actually saw there at the entire set of pigs that he saw up at Christie's place. And this belted one here, this painted up one, is a slash, and actually Aaron's the one who actually allowed me to get slash at our place. And this hog is looks like has got the stoutness of feature that comes in those slashes, and yet this hog has got immaturity and a very good look, an awesome feeding look with extra density. That's an attractive head. That's a good feeding body cavity. He's got the right kind of muscle to begin with as he drives away from us. Again, that hog's got a great big fat tail, a big set of bones, an attractive look, and a comfortable skeleton. Looks like an absolutely fun one to feed all summer long. His best days are way ahead of him, and yet I still think he fits today in terms of sellability and being ready. I like his pig quite a bit.
I was pumped when I got up to Christie's, and he said, hey, why don't you find you two to take to the Triple Crown there in 10 days? And when I stumbled across this one, I was really high on him. And I'll just be honest, then he was kind of a cute little doughy baby pig that maybe was a little more moderate in terms of his stature. And if I did have a question that day in Michigan, it was that. This pig has stretched it since. This pig's going to get big. This is going to be a bigger heavyweight barrel with the right kind of build and the right kind of muscularity. To me, he's a stout one that's built to be there in the end. A really interesting barrel for our state fair. I hope some guys are looking in here.
Yeah, this guy right here, I mean, especially being built like this and pedigree alone, these hogs that are bred like that are not bred to stay skinny. This guy will get stout, and he looks like one that'll get to be a good big one, as Jamie said.
Lot 66 from Christie Hog Farms, 10-5, Seeing Red Canoe.
The blue bear out here is a little fussy on us right now, but a pig that when he comes in, this hog has got an attractive look, and you get on top of this guy. Study this guy out of the back of his blade. That guy is as big and raw and stout out of the back of his blade as any pig that we have in this sale. This is going to be a fun blue bear to feed, and when you drive this guy away and you come with that kind of shape out of the back of their blade with a big stout hip and a square hind leg, that's going to be a very memorable look when we drive that one in the ring. Built to feed, not acting the best today, but looks like one that absolutely needs to get a good home with a very high upside.
Yeah, I saw this one at Christie's, and I said, hey, we need to load up the blue male. This is a high-end feeding one with an awesome look, and I know he's not wanting to just cooperate the best and just get out and go. I will say this, and I will keep preaching this. Our consigners had a good a summer as anyone last year in the light cross division. We sold one last year that got along in the end is lot 61. This one's lot 60 in the 60s, so that fits the same mold. Look in here on 66.
Next in here we got Barney Family Farms with this lot number 14 is 6-7. He's a buckle up on it, to be fair, tricked out. Very neat looking pig out here. These guys brought us a set last year that fed awesome. As Jamie talked earlier, they sold one down the line there last year that fed as good as any of them all summer. This guy looks like an absolutely incredible feeding one. He's tall-shouldered, he's attractive, he's comfortable. He has got an easy feeding kind of look with an outlier kind of presence from the side. Comfort, elevation, squareness coming at us, the ability to continue to expand as he matures. That's what this hog reads like to me. This hog looks like his best days are ahead of him, and yet he fits today, and I think does look like an absolutely awesome show bearer and an awesome sale pig.
Yeah, lot 14 drops in, and this one's actually out of a bred from Dybert that ties back into his program. I knew Josh and his crew wanted to go back in and get connected there, and this one drops in and kind of resembles both programs to me. He's as good skeletoned as any. That's a loose, comfortably built barrel with an awesome look and an awesome presence out front. Still big-chested. Just go home and roll the coals to this one. He could get to July pretty easily. In this guy's opinion, he could be a big heavyweight at our state fair. That barrel's got as high a ceiling as any in lot 14. Lot 67, Barney Family Farms. 5-2 heat index, Tarantino Jaws Red 7. You get to tie into some neat pedigree stuff there on the back end, and this one comes in and looks like the bottom side of his pedigree, in my opinion, just in terms of the shape to his head, in terms of his presence and build and balance from the side. An awesome built bar that has the right kind of muscularity. And I'll be honest, Mike and I talked with Josh, and we kept trying to decide which one was going to be their leadoff. I don't know if there's a nickel's worth of difference in quality in them, a little different in how they're established. Lot 61 from Barney was reserve granted in Indiana last year in the light cross division. This one to me looks like he could ring big bells at big shows. Good pair there from Barney. Next in will be Faulkner's Lot 15 entry, which will be the solid white one that Maya's on. 2-8, white one dash 8 tricked out. Mom here would be the same mother of Wyatt King's fourth out light cross barrel at Ohio last year. They got along several times and won a bunch of shows for me and my crew and the King family. I think a really good one to resemble that sow line and back what that barrel did a year ago.
Yeah, again, we get to tie into that good sow there that's proven at Ryan's, and this guy resembles that barrel so much from last year. He's built so similar in terms of his bone work, his hair texture, his spine, his correctness of hind leg is so good. This guy is designed right, and his feet and legs are so good. It has, again, a very easy feeding kind of look, yet does it with those extras in terms of bone and hair. This is going to be a fun one to manage, and I know it would be nice if he had a little bit of blue on, a little more blue on him. But at the same time, when it matters there at the end of the summer, it doesn't matter how blue they are. They sell high when they're blue. They show just as well when they're solid white. But this white one here looks like a feeding one. Again, that sow's predictable. That sow can be trusted. That's one you absolutely got to keep an eye on if you're in the hunt for a light cross.
Absolutely, and if you're in the stands or if you can catch a glimpse on Walton, that barrel is the first one here beside the outgate, and just how similar they are, just like the guy that raised them. That barrel's got a big noggin and a fat hind leg. He's awesome in terms of his hair texture. If he's anything like his half-brother, he'll go home and get better every day of his life. Lot 68 from Faulkner Show Pigs would be 3-10, Relentless, Oreo, Roll Call. That would be the belted one that Maya's driving there across the ring.
This hog has really filled up since this morning. He looked like a good feed and attractive one this morning, but boy, he has got an appetite this afternoon and has really filled up and looks like he wants to be a show barrel. Doesn't act like it maybe right this second. We need to see if we can just get him out there, if our drivers could maybe stick him and work a little harder. But, no, again, Ryan's doing an awesome job there and putting in a very good set of sows. He's invested in his time. He's invested in trying to build a program here and doing an excellent job. This belted barrel here looks like one that might just sneak up on you if you're not paying attention. He's not as dark. He hasn't invested in a tanning light yet, and he didn't tan him outside in the snowdrifts last week. So this guy here, just get this guy a little darker. Give this guy some pig feet. His best days are ahead of him. His feet and legs are awesome. Skeleton's awesome. Hog's got a very attractive look. Hog's got the right kind of shape, the right kind of turn to his body. I think this guy's actually got the potential to be one of the real sleepers in this sale. And we need to definitely make sure we're paying attention to this belted one.
Yeah, Lot 68. And I'll be honest, I sat up there at the butcher block a year ago, and there were some pigs that fell through at the end of the sale, and I just snuck them out. And there were ones that were built like this that you'll see pictured in several of our banners standing ringside. This bar's presence is awesome. This bar's just proportionality is so great. He's out of a Heimer bred that I know Ryan invested some in there, so we have faith in just what that one will do. He resembles what the Relentless thing's going to look like this spring. I think a very sneaky kind of prospect there in the belted barrel. Lot 79 from Faulkner Show Pigs, 5-4, here to stay, to the extreme, never before.
Yeah, this blue-backed one right here is a really neat one. He is just a skinny green show pig right now that's built to the nine. I mean, he is one that is absolutely perfect in his proportions. That is the perfect length of body. He's got an awesome head carriage and stoutness of skull. His shape is great. That hog, as he goes to the ground off of both ends, is as true as any pig in this barn. This is actually a pig that is kind of, I think, needs to be on a short list if he fits into your window of when your end point is. I think this guy has a very high upside. He looks like an elite show bearer. He is absolutely the kind that looks like just needs time. Every day of his life, this pig should get better. He should get just stouter. And again, if he'll keep that same presence and skeleton he's got, his ceiling is as high as any.
Yeah, very high ceiling here on the blue blanketed barrel. And Mike and I made it a point, and we did it on purpose, to put some quality lots and put some high-enders, some short-list pigs there at the end of the sale. We want people to stick around. We want people to stick around and see what happens there. And I do think the Crypt and the blue blanketed pig has a high ceiling as any pig we're going to offer tomorrow night at the Butcher Block. Queen's lone guild entry drops in. Lot 17, 41-4. Claws, buckle up. In-game's brother.
Yeah, this is one of the leadoff lots in our guild offering for a reason. Again, we talked about the value of the Claws females and what they've done for us so far, and what we anticipate the value of those to be long term. Those are absolute generators, and they absolutely feed incredible. And Scott does such a good job of putting together hogs that are built right in their skeleton. He told me about this litter. We've talked about this litter a lot. He sent me videos and pictures of them on several occasions of the entire litter. I know that was a deep litter, and if you're looking to invest in a sow that is backed by an elite pedigree, backed by an awesome litter, predictability and ability to just do their job and feed and turn into high-end show gilts at the end of the summer and lay down and make sows. This one, to me, represents all of that in one package. She's got an elite look. She's got a running gear that's incredible. She's got extra bend and looseness to her skeleton, and yet does it with an elegance of look. Her body cavity and body type is absolutely awesome. I think he brought us a very good gilt here. Scott, appreciate you again coming and representing yourself with an elite gilt here at this sale.
Well, I'll be quite frank, I have no idea what Scott has in his keeper gilt pen at home. I don't imagine that there's too many of them that can give this one a run in the show ring setting. We've talked about how important Claws Daughters are going to be to, I think, anybody's program. So I hope the guys in the back are going to pay attention to this particular lot. People to my right, they're looking for a show gilt. I don't know what more we can ask for. High-end. Show her in April, show her in August. I think this one's going to get along just fine.
Yeah, for a family that's wanting to show, this is one that would be a fun one to drag all summer, and is not going to be a hard one to repedal there at the end of the summer if you're not wanting to make her your sow yourself.
Next in will be Miller times lot 19, 21-2, one-way, ruthless. We will sell choice of these and then auction off the other ones to the buyers. Whichever one the buyer doesn't take, we'll start and resell the other one there as the pair.
Yeah, the belted gilt coming across the center right here. She hit me really good earlier in the sale order preview, and she comes back here. This is an incredibly dense skeleton one that's correct with an awesome look. Her proportions are right. That one's body cavity, just from a feedability standpoint, is absolutely awesome. That's a big, stout hind leg. Those are good toes at the ground. She's got an attractive look, yet she still looks like one that has the ability to flesh if we need her to, and there's enough substance if we need to peel her back and make her a market hog. That is the kind we can do so many things with. We can make her a sow. We can make her a market hog. We can make her an elite big breeding gilt. I think an excellent gilt that we're offering here in lot 19.
Yeah, I've been high on the one-way stuff, and a bunch of them have been shortlisters for me. This one's no exception. We appreciate Cade making the trip clear up from Oklahoma. This gilt got in at 4 o'clock this morning and unloaded off the box and filled back up that quick. Just think from a show family's perspective, if we can haul one that far and have them ready less than 12 hours later, just how good we can make them look. When we haul that one to the first jackpot show in April, haul them to your county fair in July, or haul her to the big ring in Columbus in August, I think that's a very good gilt offering there from Cade, and I appreciate him making the trip. Lot 20, Miller Time Genetics, 24-3, Surrender, Wide Awake, in-game Kingpin.
We'll see if our showman can keep up with the gilt as we try to drive her out across here. She's a runner, but she's obviously one that's incredibly athletic in her skeleton. Another one with a neat look, real shape, a big stout hip and a square base going away. One that I think could fit into those counties here in the state of Ohio in the market hog ring extremely well. But again, looks versatile enough in her kind that if we want to flesh her up and make her a breeding gilt, she's got the pattern, she's got the immaturity, she's got the looseness of skeleton to run in those breeding gilt shows. She looks like a very good dual-purpose gilt to me that these guys brought up from Oklahoma.
I'm just going to take a second and reread the bottom side of this gilt's pedigree. Wide awake, in-game Kingpin. Let's look at the top-selling show bearers and just the high-producing show bearers from a banner's perspective, and I guarantee you they have one, if not more, than those three boars on the bottom side of their pedigree from a sow perspective, because what those boars have done, this gilt resembles that. She's sharp in terms of her look, good in terms of her build, and like Mike said, a very versatile one in terms of what we want to do with a feed bucket, market gilt, breeding gilt. I don't think it matters. It'll be interesting to see which one buyer takes choice of. I'll definitely be paying attention to whatever they leave behind.
Yeah, that is an absolutely loaded sow pedigree.
Lot 35, Miller Time Genetics, 20-3, one-way ruthless.
Yeah, we got this white male here is a wild kind of out there looking one that I know it doesn't matter as much here in our part of the world, but for those of you in internet land watching, this guy will class York. This guy is solid white. He's got Yorkshire traits and Yorkshire characteristics, and does it again with a very attractive, a neat look out of his front end, a really big set of bones. Hog's incredibly hairy. Hog's got real muscle, real density, got an elite show bearer look from the side. Really neat, kind of farther out there looking solid white when these guys brought up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just where this one ends up and how this one progresses throughout the summer. As good as this light cross offering is in the Triple Crown, and I know there's a bunch of different shapes, sizes, and colors, this one to me is the outlier. The outlier in terms of look and just how he ties his neck on the top side of his shoulder. He's the outlier in terms of shape and muscle, and that is a big, dense rear leg. He does class York. Interesting to see where this one ends up in Miller's 35. Lot 71 from Miller Time Genetics, 24-2, Surrender, Wide Awake, in-game Kingpin.
Yeah, this off-belted, or I guess painted-up belted pig here that comes out, he's one that was a little hungrier maybe, and a little hollow when he came into the ring earlier today. He's filled up a bunch. This hog hits me really good right now. Again, hits me as just an absolutely awesome feeding one with an elite presence and an elite skeleton. This hog's attractive. This hog's tall-shouldered. He's really good at the ground. His toes are awesome. That hog's got a really good correct hind leg that reaches and bends the way it's supposed to. Length of body's appropriate. That hog's got a big fat tail, and if that tail is an indicator of how stout everything else is going to get, this is going to be a big stout kind of dark cross bearer there come late summer. And again, I think does it with what I consider an incredibly easy feeding look, where I think his best days are ahead of him. Yet I like that pig a lot today. Just as much as he's come in the last 6 or 8 hours, I can just imagine how much this hog's going to come by tomorrow night in sale time.
Yeah, this one's fun to look at here this evening, and I mentioned it on his mate's sister. Cade got in at 4 o'clock this morning and tried to get to work and get him to eat. We all know what that can be like just in terms of getting ones to settle in. If you're going to call me or text me and ask me for which one's going to sell under the money or be a sleeper or be one that I need to pay attention to, Lot 71 from Miller is going to be at the top of that list. Lot 24 from Wing Show Pigs, 17-1, Catnap, Moneyline, next to nothing. That will be the gilt pig that Kale's on there.
Yeah, since Jack didn't want to wait and got impatient with the last group, decided to just let him go ahead and run the pair. The belted gilt he brings in here is a really neat little gilt on the smaller side of the gilts that we have here. So she's one that'll be able to stretch probably a little later into the summer if we need her to. If you have an August or even I think a September county where you can show those gilts in market hog shows, I think she fits that. Yet I think she's one that can sure fit into the breeding gilt show at Columbus. Her maturity looks right. Jack's invested a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money into putting together a good sow herd. He doesn't make good pigs by accident. This gilt right here is immature. She's attractive. She's tall-shouldered. She's got real shape. Again, her best days are ahead of her. That pedigree is awesome. That sow line behind there is a good one. This is a really neat gilt here that I think has a flashy, striking, attractive look. That again, I think her window's a little wider than some, or maybe her window's a little later than some of the gilts we have in here. But this is one definitely need to be paying attention to if a gilt this size fits into what you're trying to accomplish.
I know she might look like a skinny little green pig today. Read the bottom side of her pedigree. Moneyline next to nothing. Those things will get stout, and she will keep coming. That's the right kind of muscle shape to start with one that early. I love her out of the front side of her skeleton and just the look that she offers. If you're a family that likes to buy one gilt, show her in April, and show her clear through the fall, this one from Wing could certainly do that. High-end prospect there in lot 24. 34, Wing Show Pig, 17-6, Catnap, Moneyline next to nothing.
This little belted male of Jack's is another one that window and time of when he needs to be shown can probably be shown later than a lot of them that are in the barn. This is a stout, bulky one here at this size and one of the smaller pigs in the sale. He looks like he'll stretch for a while. Yet with that bulk, this hog stays true and square within himself as he comes and goes. He's a hog. Proportions are just right. Body shape's awesome. Hog's head and neck is very neat and attractive ahead of his blade. He looks like a fun one to feed. And again, it just depends on kind of where your window is or when you need to show him. If he fits size-wise for you, you need to watch him. These hogs out of Jack's have fed awesome. He puts together an incredibly good set of pigs every year and has a good sow herd sitting behind him.
Yeah, pound for pound, this is one of the stouter featured pigs in the offering. I know he's little, but his hind leg isn't. That's a stout featured one with an awesome barrel-shaped head. I think this one later into the summer, early into the fall, it's hard to tell how far you could stretch him, and I just won't speculate from that aspect. But that hog's got real muscle and real feature. Be a fun one to feed, and just watch him progress in lot 34. Hammond Show Pigs comes next. 4-2, Lead the Way, Echo, limited edition.
Yeah, our buddy John brought us a good pair of them. And this blue gilt, he'd sent me a picture of a while back, and that picture of her is nice, but I wasn't expecting to see this when she got here. I knew she was going to be good, but this one reads to be pretty stinking elite to me. That is a stout-featured, attractive one with a big set of paws, great big forearm. Her chest is true. Her chest is big, and she's true to the ground. That one drives away from you as good as any pig in this entire barn. And to be a traditional blue-colored one like that, to be that attractive and stand out within a group like this, I think that's an excellent blue gilt. Big flag tail, a great big fat tail, a big set of bones, awesome look, proportions. Just I think that one reads to me like a big-time blue gilt.
This one's interesting to me because she's a light cross gilt, and we've started the jackpot within the division. I know lots of county fairs are going that way, and if state fair is, that would be great. And this one could fit in. She can run with the belts, though, in my opinion. This one comes right at me, and she's a perfect square from her elbow pocket in terms of her knee and front foot. Everything just fits right. And I'll be honest, for her pedigree, she's extremely stout in how she reads, and that just makes her that more intriguing, in my opinion. That is a big flag tail and a big hind leg that bends the correct way. A really neat blue gilt there from Hammond. Lot 42, Hammond Show Pigs, 4-5, Lead the Way, Echo Limited Edition.
Little calico pig here is one that has filled up quite a bit since this morning as well. Belly's full, starting to come to life, and I think another few hours you'll see this hog's muscle come even more to life. This hog is a green, attractive pig out here that's athletic, looks like an awesome feeding one. Best days are ahead of him. This hog's got good bones, good toes, a really good skeleton. Proportions are right, just needs some time. And again, that hog, when he drives away, that's still a big hip and a big stout square hind leg. Hog's bloomed up quite a bit today. I think this hog could be one of the real sleepers in the sale that has come on a bunch here in the last few hours.
I would ask those that are standing, sitting up in the stands, and if you catch a glimpse on Walton, bottom right-hand corner, and I know they're not related, I know they're different breeders, but that was a skinny calico pig that I stood up there at the auction block, and I bid for pennies on the dollar compared to his quality. I thought that one got overlooked. This pig could be in that same category because that's an awesome-built show pig that has a big hind leg. He's going to start greener and skinnier than some, sure. A lot of that can come in a bucket. Make what you will there of the calico bar from Hammond. I think he has a ton of upside. Next in the ring, Genetic Force Show Pigs, and Tom Spahn brought us a good pair. His leadoff's lot 22, 4-2, High Heat, Breathtaker, Unashamed.
These guys here have done an awesome job there at Genetic Force. Tom and I talked quite a bit there, and there's a gilt that they have raised this time that has had a heck of a run in the show ring. Claw's gilt that the Hafner family's been showing has been very dominant about everywhere she's been. This belted gilt that he's got out here in the ring looks to me like one that has the potential to get on the same kind of track as that gilt there. That is a very attractive, very sexy head. That is a square chest, awesome body cavity, perfect height to length ratio. Her length of hip, her levelness of hip, and squareness going away is awesome. That is a very elite looking crossbred gilt with awesome edges, awesome look, good set of bones. Bone work's awesome, balance is right. That is a very neat show gilt that Tom brought here. Excited to offer this one tomorrow.
Quite frankly, our crossbred gilt offering is starting to make me a little nervous. I'm not used to selling this many high-level gilts that we are going to offer tomorrow night at the Butcher Block. But this one drops in, and she can run with the best of them. Top side of her pedigree's High Heat, and he's had a sneaky good siring career, if you will. And this gilt is why. That's a cute head laid in front of a dense body cavity. That's an awesome look from the side. She'll prop up and take a good picture whenever you get her to the backdrop. Just pay attention whenever lot 22 is going to sell tomorrow night, because I don't think you'll want to show against her, whether that's in April or in August. Lot 39, Genetic Force Show Pig, 7-5, Heat Index, Happy Hour, All Rise.
Yeah, they bring us a belted barra here that, again, just has an awesome feeding look. Look ahead of his blade is good. His texture in terms of body texture and skin texture from a feeding standpoint is good. Real good cushion and comfort up front, levelness of spine, levelness of hip. Got a loose rear leg, a little greener in terms of his muscle and shape right now, which I think is okay. He's probably, I think, a very appropriate in terms of where he's at from a muscle standpoint. Really a neat-looking barra. As he drives away from us, has a big square hip and a square hind leg driving away. Neat kind of pig there that these guys are offering.
Yeah, and this one's out of Heat Index, and I talked about his gilt being out of High Heat and just how good of a run he's had. Heat Index is off to a strong start in the Southwest and been a popular boar I know guys have went back and used. That's a stout featured one. That is a big, extremely bendy hind leg that'll never get called short stepping. Awesome in terms of his body cavity. A little greener in terms of his muscle. Go home and just pour the coals to him. I think that one could get pushed to July or hold into August with a ton of upside there in Spawn's second entry. Next in the ring will be lot 23, Not Show Pigs, 8-4, Logic, Speak the Truth.
The gilt. The gilt here of Knott's So I apologize. I was trying to figure out whether it was the male or the female we were talking about here. The 8, the gilt that Maya's on here, right here, the wider belted gilt. Knots always bring out a good set. They always come prepared, and they always bring us a set that feeds awesome. And this gilt fits right into that group. And the Logic thing's been so good for so many of us in the industry this time. He has done an absolutely incredible job as a sire. And this gilt right here fits, I think, the set here extremely well. One that's she's attractive, she's balanced, she's awesome in her body cavity. Her length of body's perfect. Toes and skeletal quality, I think, is as good as any. One that just absolutely looks like an awesome feeding one. One that you can do as much or as little to as you want to with a feed bucket, depending on exactly what your goals are. One that's going to be kind of difficult to screw up, just because everything is just so right in her, and that yet you get her out here, she still has a special look. Very good gilt here that Maya's driving.
I'm very interested to see just how the Logic thing ends up at the end of the summer, because they come out with that kind of look in front of their blade, that kind of shape and roll to their mid-body, and yet can still get out and go behind. Their skeletal quality, as Mike mentions, is just so spot on. The Logic thing's going to be good. I have a lot of confidence in that gilt hitting a high-end point. Lot 33 from Not Show Pigs. Logic, Dare to Compare, would be the male pig entry there that Kale's on. This one's mother would have raised the pig that they dropped in here a year ago that was ever so popular. Excited to see where this one could be.
Yeah, this guy right here, they told me that they had a good one to bring here, a good barrow to bring to this sale, and this one sure doesn't disappoint. And he looks like the Knot pigs always look, yet he also looks like the Logic pigs look in terms of just his skull, his density. This hog's opened up, his comfort level's so good, and again, just an easy feeding look, yet with still a high-end look. And I know that that's not always the easiest combination to come by. This hog's got real muscle, and this hog is one that I don't think will ever be a flat one that ever tries to peter out on you and not have muscle. This hog's got a big hip, a square hind leg, an awesome feeding body cavity, an elite kind of look out front. And again, balance and proportions are so good. Whether you want to try to win your county fair or be a contender at a state fair, this guy could be managed to whatever level you want to be. I think a very high-end bear that Knott's brought for us to offer.
This pig, to me, perfectly represents the top and bottom side of his pedigree and just how those two could commingle. He comes with the skeletal quality, build, and bendiness of the Logics. He comes with the extra stoutness and ruggedness of feature, the extra roll to his cage that the Dare to Compare stuff did. I think a very fun one to feed, a very easy one to manage with a feed bucket. It's not going to take a guy with a lot of brains to just make sure that one's right. Next in, Titus Show Pigs, 39.5, Buckle Up, No Intro, Rapunzel, the Cinderella daughter that I know he has a lot of faith in there at his place.
Yeah, the little calico gilt that Matt's offering here goes back through that sow line that's been so good to him, that has built so much quality and put up so many banners in the last few years. Then this little calico gilt comes out here. Isn't the prettiest colored thing in the world, but study this gilt. This is a tall-shouldered, attractive-headed one with the right kind of shape to her body. Her length of body is absolutely perfect. Her muscle and shape is very appropriate and just right at this stage, and the maturity of her skeleton looks to be just right. She's one that size-wise depends on where you need to be. If she fits into where you need to be, this is one that will be very memorable, and these kind like this shine up. Once you get them black in the summer, these shine up and end up being some of the most memorable colored, memorable show hogs that we show in the summer when you can get one of those dialed in. Very good gilt out of an absolutely incredible sow line.
Titus, I don't know if you have a count of just how many banners are represented on the top and bottom side of her pedigree, but I doubt there's been a boar win more shows than Buckle Up in the last few years. there has not been a sow line that can be traced back to more champions across gilt and bar divisions than the Cinderella stuff that's on the bottom side of this gilt's pedigree. I think this one will be a fun one to show, and I personally love her collar pattern. She's always going to be the one that stands out from that standpoint, and yet study her quality and study her build and her muscle and shape. This one to me looks like she could be really fun to show for a very long time. Lot 32, Titus Show Pigs, 40-4, Logic, Backslap, Rapunzel.
Yeah, another one goes back through that exact same sow line as the cheetah colored gilt that he drove us there just a second ago. This looks like an absolutely incredible one to feed. Maturity in this guy looks to be just right. He's got feature. He's got presence. He's got bone. He's incredibly square. That hog's look coming at us is as good as you can make. Hog's edges and shape is just right. And again, I think the texture to that guy's muscle, from a feeding standpoint, you can do whatever you want to do. You can go as far as you want to go with that muscle, and still that hog's skeleton's always going to hold together. He's built for the long haul. He's built to feed all summer. He's one that I think has a very high ceiling. Just to wherever you want to go, whatever your goals are, put this guy on feed, dial him in. This one has a very high upside, and I think a very high ceiling.
This one, to me, I'll circle back to some statements I made earlier in terms of the Logic skeletal quality, in terms of what hit the bottom side of this guy's pedigree represents, and then we're going to circle back to look-to-bone ratio, neck-to-bone ratio, pound for pound. That's one of the stouter forearm pigs that we'll offer tomorrow night, and yet he comes with no crest, no jaw, and just bottom side of his neck. That's a trim-fronted one with a big fat hind leg. Would be really fun to get him to our state fair and then progress him to one of those later counties and absolutely go get close when it counts. Next in will be Dobbs Show Crew, Lot 26, 24-3, Clarity Tricked Out 3.
Yeah, the gilt on the far side there is the one we're talking about here, and we talked about her earlier. She's one of the smaller ones in the sale. Again, depending on where your window is on what you're wanting to do. This is an incredibly stout featured one with dense hair follicles. She's got long hair, and that one is going to get furry on you. She's got a stout, very attractive head. Her spine is good. Her hip is right. Her skeleton's right. She's one that, to me, just needs time, needs some time on feed. This Dobbs crew's putting together a heck of a sow herd and had an excellent run last year with just a handful of sows. He's ramping it up right now, and he's building ones that are built like this. This is one that's going to get in somebody's way when it matters.
I know she's small, but I'll be honest, these are the type of gilts that I like buying for my families because we can show them at the very first show in April, and they'll always get along because she'll be extended in front of her blade. She's got big paws and an awesome build, and yet we can keep showing her and get so many miles out of this particular animal because her skeleton's going to keep her around for so long. I think Lot 26 could be a high-end one from spring till fall. Look in there at what Dobbs brought you. Lot 38, Dobbs Show Crew, 24-11, Clarity Tricked Out 3.
Yeah, this belted male here is a ultra tall shouldered, wild looking one out front. Hall's got real good shape out of the back of his blade. He's a little skinny muscled right now, but the way that this hog is bred, he can't help but get stouter as he matures. Time and feed is what this guy needs, but he is one that has an absolutely awesome look, an elite kind of presence from this side, that kind of elevation. He might be as tall a shouldered of a pig as that we're offering in this sale. Time and feed is going to be what this guy needs. Put this guy on feed, feed him as hard as you can. This guy is one I think you could actually push this guy as hard as you want. You could make a late July county and max this guy out if you need to. He looks like one is going to take whatever you want to throw at him.
Yeah, this one would be really fun to manage and one that I would like to check in on. And I know if one of my families had him, I would expect to pour the gas to this one early and keep it on him because his hind leg can handle it. He's good out of the front side of his shoulder with big limbs, one that looks like if you just want to get one that'll go home and get better every day of his life, I trust that this male pig will that Dobbs brought you. One we've waited on, just to be quite honest, for a little minute. Lot 27, AA Show Pigs. Good buddy Aaron Jackson from Kentucky brought you 8-2 Culture Money Moves. That's the calico male as he goes across the ring.
Yeah, there is a reason we put him right where we did in the sale to fire up that second that round of barras after we sell the gilts. This guy is one that is worth watching. He's one to get excited about. This is a wild-looking creature right here. This is a stout, boxy, rugged, dense, furry, round-bodied, big-hipped, square-built one that I'm so curious to see where this guy ends up and where he ends up getting fed for. He has a chance to be one of the neatest, wildest-looking ones that gets shown out of this entire set.
It's going to take, and we all know this, everybody standing ringside probably knows this, it's going to take big pieces in 2026 to win big pig shows. Name a big piece that show barrow doesn't have, because he's big in terms of his hind leg, he's big and stout in terms of his skull, and yet he can still bend and flex and reach behind. He has short toes and a short pastern. I trust that hog's front foot long term. Maybe he needs to stay aboard just in terms of his extreme pieces. Not too sure how many calico boars a guy needs, but I do think that one has breeding value in terms of the extreme pieces he offers. And yet, as a show bar, that one will be really, really fun to get behind with a sprayer and send him into the ring with your better sticks. Lot 69, AA Show Pig, 6-9, Everyday Hustle, top shelf.
Jamie and I were talking about this pig earlier, and this hog looks like so many of the hogs that come out of sales and just surface at the end of the summer with a picture. This is an easy feeding one that you can feed for so many of those counties. Hog's never going to get out of bounds on you. He's never going to get screwed up. He's tall-shouldered. He's got good feet, good proportions. His edges are right. His presence is appropriate. This hog has a very easy feeding look, but at the same time does it with a presence that allows him to be one to surface. Best days are ahead for this guy, and this guy to me is one that does look like would be just a fun one to put on feed and just see what you can make of him.
Lot 69 drops in from Aaron and his crew, and I got the chance to go down there last weekend, and we got to sort out, and the calico was a no-brainer. And just the longer we study him, Lot 69 just made sense to be the one to come here. If you're a kiddo standing ringside and you see these banners up here and you want to get your picture up here, talk your parents into buying Lot 69 from Aaron Jackson. I have as much faith in that one feeding from his particular sow families. That's an awesome-looking barrow with a big flag tail and a big hind leg. So right in terms of his build, I trust that one will go home and get better every day of his life. I feel bad because we wanted to make sure that there was some quality left as we trickled down through the sale order. Aaron ended up being the pawn because he brought us two good show bars that we trust people could find later in the day. You'll want to stick around for both of these tomorrow night at the Butcher Block at 6 p.m. Next in the ring, Crosley Show Pigs, 4-2, Rizzler Moneyline.
James, it's good to see you made it. Crosley's bring us a good one out here, and we invited them, and they didn't have the ones to come last year, but they did this year and brought us, I think, an excellent belted male here. I know the Rizzler thing is something these guys have been very high on. Those pigs have been good, and those pigs, there's going to be some of them surface here within the next couple weeks at the Texas Majors. This pig, the Crosleys bring us, is a neat looking one. He's a hog that's got a very attractive head and neck out of the front of his blade. That hog's is long fronted and high headed with a stout jaw and stout skull as any of them in a tight, neat jawline. Hog's got a big forearm. Hog has got a really good shape out of the back of his blade, a big stout hip and a big hind leg. Looks like one that could be a fun one to feed and just see what you can make of this guy. There's some wild, far-reaching pieces here, and yet he does it with a correct skeleton and easy feed and look. Going to be a fun one to see where this guy goes. Carlson's brought us a good one.
Yeah, excited about what Lot 28 offers, because I talk about pigs that have high ceilings. We need to talk about pigs that have high floors. This pig's never going to be messed up, yet he has some extreme pieces that make him as big swinging as any of them. The look out of the front side of this one's blade is as special as any of them. He, too, has a big, square, bendy type of hind leg, the right kind of muscle pattern and maturity. I'll just be honest, whoever buys this pig kind of gets a free invite to our layover as we prepare for Columbus. I would love to help prepare this buyer for our state fair. Next in, Stephen Mark Gray, come up from Oklahoma, bringing lot 29, 12-3, mainline, buckle up, silver lining.
The calico pig here that these guys start off with in their first round is one hit us really good there in the preview earlier today as we set the sale order. Really an attractive, neat-headed hog with a big blade, a big round rib cage, a stout hip, and a really square hind leg. That hog is incredibly good as he goes away from you. Again, a very uniquely marked one here that'll look he'll have kind of an outlier presence there in terms of just how he hits you when he comes in the ring there in the dark cross classes here in Ohio. I think a very high-end calico male that Mark Gray brought us up from Oklahoma.
Yeah, and if you've never heard of Mark and his program and just what they've accomplished, look them up. Go back and do your research. They've gotten as many along at big shows as anybody. An awesome program, and that calico bar he's going to start maybe just not as flashy and as oiled up and as shiny as some. It doesn't matter. We can fix that before August. This is a perfect built show pig that doesn't have a loose joint in his body. He's really filled up in just a few hours here, really hydrated. This one will be interesting. Come back and see just how good he gets overnight. I expect that one to look better in the morning. Next in, lot 70, Stephen Mark Gray, show pigs, 12-1, mainline, buckle up, silver lining.
Yeah, this belted one of Mark Gray's is the one that comes in here, and when he was we saw him earlier today, he was a little empty, and he's starting to fill up now, and I know this is one they were very high on when they loaded him to come up here, and it's taken him a little bit of a second just to get settled in and comfortable. That guy's filled up, and he's expanded a lot in the last few hours. Jamie said it'll be interesting to see how much the calico expands. I want to see what this belted one does by tomorrow with just another day of hydration. This hog has got an absolutely awesome look. This hog has got an absolutely immaculate skeleton, and he's got an incredible pedigree. This hog coming at you is as good as any pig in the barn. That hog's blade to knee to the ground is as good as it gets. His length of body is perfect. Hog's body texture and the shape to his rib cage is awesome. Then the way that hog drives away is just as true as it gets. I want to see this guy tomorrow. I like this pig a lot right now, and I think his best days are obviously ahead of him, and I don't think it's going to be too long before he looks like a completely different pig.
And I'll just be honest, the belted one rolls around here, and if we would just start feeding more show pigs that look like this when they're little, we'll be a lot happier in July and August. Pigs with that kind of look and elevation and skeletal quality, And then what he's going to do, what I expect him to do by morning, if you're going to stay here in London and hang out tonight and hang around for the sale tomorrow, make sure you go get that pig up in the morning. I knew he had been sitting on the trailer there for a few days and maybe just got a little dehydrated. That pig will turn into a short lister by tomorrow night. Lot 30 from Hamby Farms, 36-2, unrivaled, next intention. And I'll be honest, I've struggled to find a sire group that's just been as impressive as the unrivaleds, and this pig is exactly why. Because he comes with so much feature to his forehead, so much feature and stoutness to his arm, so much real muscle and shape, and he does all of that without being messed up. That's an extremely flexible hind leg that's correct off either end. Sure, he's a little off in his top line, and Maryland's no short haul either, and I trust this pig to just bloom up and come out of that. Hamby got along with a couple out of this sale that maybe last year that maybe just weren't quite as ready and shiny as some, just in terms of how they wanted to act, but I trust that this one will get better, and the buyer will be very rewarded here if they pay attention to Hamby's.
Yeah, that Hamby program is absolutely proven, and that sow herd there is one of the best ones this side of the Mississippi. This is an incredibly dense featured one with an awesome pedigree. Going to be a fun one to feed and fun to watch where this guy goes and where he ends up there at the end of the summer.
Atkins Livestock drops in here next, lot 31. Good buddy Alec, him and I go back a long, long time. He brings us lot 31, 27-4, money line, heavy hitter in game.
Yeah, Alex doing an awesome job, and I don't think he needs much introduction to the crowd around here for what he's done. He's been on the national stage enough. I think we all kind of can agree to the job he's done. This pig here comes and represents just so much quality. A hog with a big, stout, attractive skull, a big set of bones. Hog's very comfortable out here. Looks, he's one that has a special look, yet still has an easy feeding look to him. Doesn't look like one we've got to do just too many wild things to try to manage him. Just feed this guy. He's one that's got strong toes. He's got real muscles. Length of body's right. The shape to his rib cage is just right. Neat bear that Alec bought us here.
Yeah, I talked about it just a minute ago, and I apologized to a consigner because he was kind of our pawn for keeping people around and wanted to make sure quality, high-end stuff was represented throughout the sale. Alec, if you're listening here on Walton, I apologize, but we wanted to make sure that we offered some quality here a little later in round one, and this pig is that. Pay attention here. A really stout-featured one that has real shape and real muscle, the right kind of look. Looks like one to me that in August could get really, really close when it counts. Lot 36 from Smith Club Pigs, 13-13, all access backdrop crickets.
Yeah, this 13-13 Blue Bear was one hit me good in the sale order sift there earlier today. Just an absolutely awesome striking look from the side. Beautiful color of blue. He's tall-shouldered. He's got strong toes. Hog's got a square hip and hind leg. Looks like an awesome one to feed. Love this guy's color. Love this guy's pattern. And, again, he just looks like one. You just throw feed to him, manage him, max this guy out. I think there's a very high upside on this pig right here.
Yeah, I hope this lot 36 ends up in an appropriate home because high-level stuff here, that's an awesome-looking barrow that's proportional from the side, bendy off either end of his skeleton, still comes and goes with the right kind of width and just muscularity, and yet just does it so good out of his hip and hind leg. Again, I think we talk about stuff that has high ceilings too much. We need to talk about stuff that have higher floors and won't give up on you and quit. That Blue Bear's no quitter. Proud Smith brought him. Lot 72, Smith Club Pigs, 12-2, wide awake, breathtaker backdrop.
This solid black one out here is one that you look at his picture and you look at him in person. This hog in person is just so much more striking yet than what I think he is in his picture. This is a dense featured one with a big forearm, a big set of bones, a big square hip, and a square look going away. Got a very elite a presence out ahead of his blade, a big round rib cage. Hog's always going to have muscle. Hog's always going to be stout.
I think the black thing's going to become real popular here real quick because black pigs with that kind of pigmentation to their skin, that kind of density to their hair coat, and yet when you can prop him up from the side like that, length of neck matches length of body, matches length of hip, and that is a big flag tail like we've talked about in several of them. I love his chest view. You can head that one to the scales and come back out at the top end of your class with those kind of quality of multiple views. Lot 37 from Perry Family Show Stock, 4-1, game time claws never before, red 7.
Another one with claws on the bottom side here that Perry brought. He brought us a good belted one here. Again, a really stout skull and front end on this guy, high head carriage. Big, dense set of bones, and this hog is one that's dense and furry with the correct skeleton. Looks like a really, really easy feeding one with the correct skeleton. To me, I think just pedigree-wise, I could just expect this guy to just be a big, stout one with an elite look. Neat kind of belted male that Perry brought us here.
I'm proud to say that we team up with Braxton and his crew to put in a weekend-long event here in London, Ohio, to offer you proud show pigs that we're just proud of. And Braxton brings us one here, the Triple Crown sale. There's not a more unique one, just in terms of head shape, in terms of how he ties his neck, that high out of the top side of his shoulder. Those are big furry bones and just the correct proportions. Mom comes from Boble. He bought us a baby pig that I want to make sure that I note because that's a trusted program there. We get claws on the bottom side. I trust this male pig an awful lot to be a high-end prospect in August. Next in will be our good friend Brian Ochterman with Ochterman Farms. Lot 40, 3-1, Shades of Gray Jaws.
The blue bear that Ochterman brings here is one of the more unique colored ones that we have here in the sale. A tall-shouldered, attractive one that's ultra correct with an easy feeding look. One that you'll never miss in terms of just his color and his pattern out here. Get this guy dark, get him shined up. That'll be a very flashy show bear with a correct skeleton, one that's that just looks to me like he's never going to have a bad day. Hog's always going to stay good on his feet and legs. Going to be a fun one to feed that you can max out and never have to worry about his skeleton giving you a problem.
Yeah, talk about ones that'll go home, get better every day of their life with some feed bucket just management there, a little tan on the blue, and just shine that thing up because the skeleton's so good. I trust that pig long term, and I know there's going to be blue pigs that are cuter and stouter and hairier and shinier, all those things. There won't be a blue pig with that is that good in terms of their skeletal quality or any better than him in terms of their look from the side. I think a good feeding prospect, one that could get better every day of his life there, the Dr. Membratus. Lot 55 from Ochterman Farms, 4-8, Cold and Alone Clyde.
The Yorkshire bear that Ockerman's bring us here is one that is going to be heavy boned and really correct. A hog that's good in his spine, high in his tail set, length of body's just right. Just looks like a feeding hog to me. He's one that a little Yorkshire muscled at this point. Just needs some time to expand. A hog that just needs a feed bucket, needs some additives, and just throw it at him and just see how stout you can make this guy.
Ochterman's Yorkshire program is going to sneak up and get him when it counts. And I know that we're having some success with one in the southeast that came from him. Never got to see her as a baby, but she's awfully special as a big one. Be proud to show anyone that video. An Ochterman Yorkshire that we're all very high on. That's a dense, heavy-boned one with the right kind of texture to his mid-body, the right kind of length out back. I think, again, similar to his crossbred, just go home, get better every day of his life, right kind of feed management, right kind of program. Make what you will out of that one. That one could get very nice before it's all said and done. Next, JK. Tag, no. Tag. Next in, lot 41, JK Show Pig, 7-11, steadfast, never ruled.
These guys bring us a pair of light cross bears here, just like good, easy feeding pigs. The blue-eyed one is the lead-off that they bring here into the ring. Correct, tall-shouldered ones that's heavy in his skeleton, awesome his body cavity, really correct out of his hind leg. One that, again, one of the bigger side here, a hog that looks like he's going to have the ability to grow. If you got a late June county, even into there sometime into mid to late July, going to be an easy feeding one with a skeleton that can handle whatever you want to throw at him.
They brought us a pair last year that kind of got slept on. Bear there in the bottom right-hand corner of the show ring came from them. That thing got slept on, and I was able to sneak him out of the sale very, very reasonably from a money perspective. And then yet he went home, and he got better just every day. He was third out at a very competitive county fair. And I'll be honest, he wasn't a cute little baby pig that was going to bring a bunch of money. And I don't know that lot 41 is, but when it counts, this one's bones, this one's skeleton reads right. I love this one's head shape to just go on and feed. He looks like a very easy managing one from that perspective. Go home, manage that one correctly, and your picture could be up here a year from now. Next in the ring will be lot 75 from JK Show Pig, 7-8, steadfast, never ruled.
The majority white one there that we have on the far side of the ring is again another very correct skeleton one. Hog is really good on his toes, is good in his angles off of both ends. His body texture from a feeding standpoint is awesome. And when that hog turns and drives away from you, that hog's got a very good square look and drives just as right as he drives away from you as he can.
Yeah.
And again, just going to be an easy feeding one there for driving into sometime in June or July.
Hey, just like the showman, that pig's going to step in and sneak up on somebody and absolutely beat the crap out of them before it's all said and done. I love that pig's mid part of his body. His look from the side just matches. Everything fits. Skeleton's really good. I think that one could just be one that could go home again, like their mate brother. Just go home, get better every day of his life, and be there in July when it counts.
Gilt first, right?
Nope. Next in, tag 44 from WLT Genetics, Josh and Jeff Wilt and Dane and the crew assembled a nice spot gilt there in lot 44, 5-3, walk alone amplify.
These guys have put together an incredible spot program and have had a passion for building elite spots for a long time, and they brought us a pair this year. Their pair was good last year here, yet the set this year I think fits the sale setting probably even better. The gilt that we drive out here I think has a chance to be one of the truly elite purebred gilts that comes out of this sale. That is an attractive, tall-shouldered, busted open one with good edges, a big, stout square hind leg, awesome proportions, and an awesome feeding look. I think that's a very high-end spot gilt that the Wilts brought us.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to take a second, take a deep breath, and look at the spot gilt picture there on the holding pen on the far left. That's an incredible picture of a very good animal that they brought us here a year ago. I think this gilt daylights her. She's shorter bodied, she's stouter featured, and has a better look up front. Same kind of build quality from the side. And I think, they've invested there in some louder milk stuff that would show up on the top side of her pedigree. Interested and going to be a fun thing to see just how far that board takes Josh, Jeff, and Molly and the crew back home. Tag 50 from WLT Genetics, 5-6, walk alone, amplify.
Jamie talked about how the gilt that they brought daylighted the gilt they had here last year. I think we can say the same thing about the male here. And that barrow that came out of here was very good. And yet this guy here, I think represents one that has a real chance to surface at our state fair. This is a stout featured one with perfect proportions, an awesome barrow look, awesome barrow shape and squareness as he drives away. I think a very high-end spot barrow that these guys brought here. He's got all the extras we could ever want him to have, and yet covers the basics of pattern, design, and comfort as good as you could ever want to. These guys brought us a good spotted male here.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know if any particular showman in this region, the Midwest, or maybe even the country, has collected a bigger pile of banners than she has right here, buying pigs from Jeff, Josh, Molly, and the crew that look like this because they go home and they get better. This one's build. Compared to some other ones that they've gotten along with in years past, this one's, again, shorter body, denser featured, and has an even better look up front than some of them. I think a very fun one to feed there into the jackpot shows and let him determine just where he ends up, how early in the summer or how late you want to go.
Yeah, he is absolutely the right size for any state fair here in the Midwest.
Lot 45 from Sunrock Farms. 5-10, cut the brakes, timing's right. That timing's right, Sal, is a mate to the Geyer Gilt that brings a boatload of money. $54,000 was a special animal in that breed that they've invested in here.
That sow has accumulated an absolute pile of banners for these guys, and won as many shows as any landrace sow I know of in this part of the world. This gilt, you get off to the side of this one and study that one for landrace female quality. She is tall-shouldered. She's long-fronted. She's got an awesome ear. Her shape is just right. Her body cavity is perfect. Her hip and hind leg is absolutely immaculate. And in that breed, when you can go to the ground that good out of your hip and hind leg, you're gonna get very close. I think a very high-end landrace gilt here looks like an incredible sow if you want to make her a sow long-term, or if you want to show her and sell her later in the summer. She's going to be an easy one to get a return on. Very good landrace gilt these guys brought.
We've talked about bone to neck ratio on crossbreds and crossbred males. It's probably as important in the landrace division as any, because it is very hard to make them that stout in terms of their hind bone and make them that slim in front of their blade. I think that's a special animal from that regard that's backed by a very winning pedigree. I think they told us that sow line's responsible for over 200 banners. It may have been more. It's a big stack of them, more than your wall can hold. Lot 51 from Sunrock Farms, 5-2, cut the brakes, timing's right. Again, mom here is a mate to the $54,000 world record selling landrace gilt.
This landrace male right now is not wanting to cooperate just great for us, but this is an extremely good pig. We saw this pig out on the carpet last night, saw him in the sale order preview here earlier today. This is an immaculate skeleton on a landrace pig with an elite look, the perfect proportions, length of body and body shape is perfect. And this hog has got the right kind of real muscle, yet does it in a way where he keeps his hind leg just right as he drives away. This hog's true coming at you. I think it's a very high-end landrace barrow prospect here. I think could be one of the better ones we see at the end of this summer out of our purebred stack.
We're very, very high on our landrace offering here. In the male division, there's a pair of these that I think are awfully special. Right kind of build, right kind of muscle. That hog is very, very stout and yet still not messed up. Go home, fix his landrace attitude. There's plenty of time to do that. I think that one could get real, real close when it counts. Lot 53 from Sunrock Farms, Tid-2 all the way, paint the picture. Mom here would have been raised by Sheese, and we know what that crew's accomplished there in this division.
Yeah, that's a good Sheese out those guys have got sitting there behind this guy. And this little red male is a neat pig. It's a dense, stout one that's opened up and yet still squaring within himself. He's a hog got lots of feature, yet still immature. His balance is right. His body cavity's right. His length of body's perfect. His hip and hind leg is so good. And he's one that, to me, I know we don't want to get our red ones too big too early right here and feed too many big red barrows right now to try to get to our state fair. This guy looks like one that we can manage a little bit because of his frame size and because of his extra substance. He looks like a hog that can be managed slowly if you need to and still keep him together. And yet, being a red one, he's going to be one that will want to grow. And if we want to show him earlier, we can do that too. But when you get a skeleton like this with this kind of density, this kind of muscle, this kind of skull, I think we got one here.
Yeah, a really fun red barrow here, the only one we'll offer. And we've been collecting red barrows this spring for a family, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get to collect one more here. This one's got some out there special pieces in terms of his head shape, in terms of the stoutness to his arm and stoutness to his hind bone, and still can bend and flex and go like that across the ring. Again, like Mike mentioned, I think one that could be managed later into the summer if you need him to in terms of your state fair. Yet, if you're looking for a red boar, this one probably will change you quicker than any of them, just in terms of his moderation, in terms of his stoutness of feature, and having real muscle. Next in the ring, M4 Show Pigs, Lot 47, 2-1, Who's Your Daddy maxed out.
We'll bring this Mitcham Red Gilt in here, and I know Derek brought us one that he's as proud of as any he's had in a long time. And Derek's got a passion for these red ones and has put some really good red ones together. And this one brings an added extra punch compared to so many of the red ones we'll see. That one from the side gives us such a nice look, such a good presence and balance. And yet, when you watch this one come and go, that one is wide and stout, and she goes away. That's a big hip, a square hind leg, a big round body cavity in her. This one is going to be a fun one to see what she manages into, because there are some very far-reaching pieces in this red gilt.
Yeah, kind of some out there wild stuff. And as she comes in this gate, go back there, compare her to every pig in the barn. That is the widest chested one. That is the best one that we're probably going to offer in terms of turn to the center portion of her body and how much cage she offers. She still does that, and she's in check behind with a big square hind leg. This sow's won a bunch, and I know the mother here raised a class-winning boar there at the exposition. This would be a really fun one to manage for the show ring. This would be a very interesting red sow prospect, in my opinion. Lot 49, Vaughn Livestock, 31-1, Poland Barrow, altogether, second chance, too hot to handle.
Yeah, our good friend Brian Vaughn brought us a very good Poland Bear last year, and I think this one here absolutely eats him just from a feeding standpoint. This is a very high-end spot bear, and we've fed several very good. I said spot. I apologize. Can we start over on that? Apologize about that. We bring in Brian Vaughn's Poland Bear here, and again our good friend Brian brought us a very good Poland Bear last year, and his Poland Bear this year I do think absolutely eats that one. This guy I think has an incredibly high upside on what you could do managing this guy into the bear ring. This hog is opened up with real muscle. He's comfortable and he's got an elite look, and we've fed several of them Polands out of Brian's program, and those hogs have always fed for us. There's a great sow program back in behind there. That is a great family program that they've built around their Polands, and this is a very high-end one that we're proud to be offering in the sale.
We're offering some very interesting purebred gilts and barras and boar pigs like himself with out there-ish pieces. Wild stuff here. That's a long neck laid in front of a big, shapely back with a big, giant rear view. He's right in terms of his bone work, still secure and square behind a giant-chested one. This one has as big an upside as anything we'll offer tomorrow night. Tag 73 from Vaughn Livestock, 33-4, Awakening, Saved by Grace, never before.
Yeah, this little off-belted pig of Brian's is one I liked at the farm, and that pig comes out of a really strong litter and a really good sow. This is, we bought one out of this sale last year from him that was reserve grand at Fayette County, and this guy at this stage, I would say actually I probably like better from a skeleton standpoint especially. This guy's ultra correct. He's dense in his bone work. He's got an easy feeding look. He's very square and true and comfortable with the right length of body. Good pedigree right here, and one that I think in time this guy is going to expand. This guy is going to bulk up and become a special-looking one.
Yeah, this will be one that's worth checking out tomorrow morning if you're still around London, and later in the day as he just comes in and gets more comfortable, gets more collected, and gets to hitting the feed and water bucket. This one looked very, very interesting at the house, and he still does here. His bones are still big, and his look is still right from the side, so right in terms of his proportions and just how he'll fit. I think a really good one to feed. Don't sleep in there on the white sock pig from Brian Vaughn. Next ends lot 48, the Yorkshire barrow from Ryan Dalton and his family. That barrow would be a hard truth legacy ear notch 10-4.
Yeah, the Yorkshire barrow here that these guys bring is a special looking one. That elevation to length of body for a Yorkshire barrow I think is what makes him kind of an outlier. That hog is stout headed and up headed with a big forearm, big set of bones. He's short bodied. His shape is right. Hog's got a big flag tail and a level hip. That hog has a chance to be one that's an absolute standout.
This hog proves that we did not try to rank them 1 through 80-something in terms of a sale order. We just wanted to group some pures here in the middle of the sale and offer him there, make sure some guys were paying attention. This one has some extreme pieces for this particular breed. That is a tall-shouldered, wild-looking, fuzzy, giant-legged, flag-tailed Yorkshire male that has some out-there pieces. I think one that could certainly be managed to our state fair without a problem. That pig could get real close in the Yorkshire division, and maybe even in when you drop the crosses in the rest of the breeds. Lot 52 from Schwartz and Trooper Livestock, 8-1, Can't See Me, sneak peek.
Scooby's Scooby's Landrace male here is one of the real neat ones I think we've got to offer in this sale. This is a Landrace male pig that is built like a crossbred. That hog is long-fronted. That hog is athletic. He has got an absolute crossbred, square look driving away. His edges are right. This hog's got a neat look. I think this one has a very, very high ceiling out here. One that, again, doesn't want to cooperate on for us just great earlier. As we get him out here and he slows himself down and collects himself, there's as high of an upside on this purebred as any purebred we have in this sale.
Yeah, if you call me and say, hey, I want to get a banner at the Ohio State Fair, which pig should I buy? Right 52 at the top of that list, because for a Landrace male to be that slim and sleek out of the front side of his shoulder, that good in terms of his bone work. We go back to the neck to bone ratio, look to bone. That's a big hind leg with very, very little crest. I know Mason called me a few weeks ago and thought he had one that was pretty special that had a little skin funk. I said, I don't care. We got till August to correct that. Let's just make sure that we bring your special stuff, and he certainly did there with lot 52.
Yeah, and that one is backed by an incredible sow line that has done an incredible job there for him.
Lot 74 from Schwartz & Trooper Livestock, 7-2 Worldwide Passing Notes Punisher.
Yeah, this belted one of Scooby's is one that has filled up a bunch since this morning as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing this guy with just another day of hydration and feed, because this guy has absolutely come to life tonight. That is a wild-looking, tall-shouldered, big four-armed one that is filled up and got rounder looking in his body today, and has got a big, stout hip, a stout, square hind leg. This guy, when he just continues to eat feed, drops a belly in him, this is going to be a wild-looking one.
Yeah, you're going to want to stick around for the end of tomorrow night's offering to catch ones like this belted bar, hit the sale ring, and just see. It'll be curious to see how the buying public takes the bottom of the sale order, because there's so much quality. This is as an extreme-looking one as we'll offer there tomorrow night at the Butcher Block. That is a slick, wild throat latch attached to a body cavity that still has roll and spread. Awesome shaped one that props up very well from the side. I think that one has as high a ceiling as anything we'll offer that late in the sale there tomorrow night. Really proud that Scoop brought us that belted pig.
Thank you for joining us for the Triple Crown Club Pig Sale. This has been a Walton Webcasting production, livestock like you've never seen before.